This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the City of Leominster. And thank you, Carl, for filling in for me last week. And, well, we're live this afternoon, and we'll be here till 5 o'clock. So any questions that you have during the course of the meeting here, 978-534-1626. And we're going to go immediately. We have guests today, but I know I'm anxious to reconnect with my good buddy, Art. Art from the Art Report.
Yes, sir. Fresh pin from Foxwood.
Really?
Foxwoods. Yeah, we decided to, pardon me, trying to get my vocal cords oiled up here.
Were you singing with Frankie Valli or something down there?
Well, I have been on stage there.
Yeah, I know.
That was with Fabian. But anyway, I just to back it up a little bit, as we were leaving, I said, hey, look left, Rita. There's a huge area that they'd use for the campers in the summer.
Yeah.
And it had a gas station in it, all torn up, and they broke ground for an $85 million expansion with a casino and a restaurant that area.
I guess nothing's hurt them, huh?
Well, the numbers are down. The last few months, it's been around 35 to 45 million, where they were doing 75 to 80 million. So I'm not feeling bad for them, that's for sure.
Well, they also have to spruce up the whole, physical operation, right?
Yes,
if everybody keeps coming back, it starts to look like the same old, and you gotta, give it some life.
You are on the money. That's the first. My wife, the first thing she said, the place looks like a dump. We were in the old part. Yeah. And I said, they got to update that before. And there was a lot of activity inside, which looks like that's exactly what they're doing there.
Yeah.
They were pushing through these metal 2x4s or 2x8s that you use to build walls, etc. So something's going on in there over by the Pequot. So what it is, I'm not sure, but big addition. It's going to be something else.
Oh, good.
I guess the casino that they're putting in there, it's at the high-end room, so it'll be $5 and up for the slots.
That's you.
That's where I started today, yeah, but nothing. And I got fed up. I was walking around. I ran into the ladies. I went over and I said, you know what? I'm going to go over there and play that stupid penny machine. I never, ever. I did it 4 times in a row. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. But having said that, I don't know how bad there's a water break on Day Street.
Yeah, they're up there working. Yep.
So maybe the folks, if you get up, your water's dirty, just let it run a while.
Right.
Or if it's clean now, you may want to fill that coffee up for tomorrow.
Yeah. You
don't want to get any rust in your pipes.
As they start to fire up the system again, you'll get that turbidity.
Yeah. See, Pittsburgh had another bad fire today.
Yeah, this morning. Boy, they called the troops out on that one.
Well, we were going to the casino, and I was cutting over to pick up 190 off a mechanic, and I saw the Shirley fire truck going by, and I said to Rita, I said, that's a backup. Something's burning somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. At Plymouth Street in Fitchburg, 3-decker.
Better to call plenty of help in and send them back if you don't need them, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Other than that, everything's pretty good. Rita had her we don't know how successful, but she had her spine work done 2 weeks ago.
Wow, good.
And they said it'll take 14 days before she notices anything. But
Wow.
I told her today, I said, your gait looks a little better to me when you're walking in the casino, so we'll see. Want to get back.
That's right. Let's get going.
Yes, yes. And hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right.
LHS. Unbelievable. There's more talent in this town
Yeah.
playing sports than I bet we could hold a candle to anybody. No doubt in my mind.
And it's why we call it legendary Leominster.
And you know what's sad? If Ron Bouchard had come from Leominster, we'd probably have a monument. Pittsburgh, it did nothing. It's not. It drives me crazy.
He's
what that kid did with racing, and I don't know. I guess they're too busy trying to worry about how they're going to fill the potholes.
We've had some big races come out of this town, right?
Oh, this weekend, Daytona.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daytona, the big track. I was down there. I couldn't believe that place. That's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
The banking.
Yeah.
Back in the day when Ronnie Bouchard was running there, they didn't have restrictor plates on the carburetors.
Right.
And they were doing down the straightaways about 220.
Wow.
That's moving. And then at Pocono, which has the longest straightaway in racing, a 10,000-foot front straightaway, they were coming into the corners at about 198.
Wow.
And he took me around that track. It's a 2.5 mile, and he explained every 20 feet. He'd tell me what he would be doing in the race car and letting it drift all by itself and then getting back on the throttle. And it was quite an interesting situation.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. But
well, hopefully
those days are gone, and the memories will never go.
Hopefully, somebody kept film of interviews with Ron.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I know. I'll tell everybody a funny little story about Ronnie. He called me up. We were at Pocono, and he called my room and he says, "I have to go for a meet and greet and sign postcards, racing postcards, because I'm Rookie of the Year. Would you like to go with me?" I said, "Yeah, I got nothing to do." So we go and went to Wilkes-Barre to a mall. And we go in the mall, and they got a long table set up, and Richard Petty was there, and Buddy Baker, and Ronnie, and me. And I'm standing next to the table, and Ronnie said, "Sit down next to me here." There was an extra chair there. And I said, "Really? Yeah, sit down." I said, "All right." So I sat down. Well, here comes the first wave of people. This guy walks up to me and looks at me, and he says, "Are you somebody?" I'm sorry, I got it backwards. He looks at Ronnie. He comes up to Bouchard, and he goes, "Are you somebody?" Ronnie says, "No, but he is," and he points to me. He hands me the postcard. I said, "What do you want me?" He said, "Sign it." I signed his name, gave it to the guy.
Wow.
And of course, I married his daughter. So.
Yeah. He had a sense of humor, I'll tell you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think he was real happy
There he is.
at that point. But over time, we talk about it, we laugh about it.
But that's it anyway.
Over time,
That's it.
I went to
You could go to. Looks like somebody did one.
Oh, that's Ronnie talking.
Yeah.
That's the interview that at his Hall of Fame at his museum.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
So that's pretty cool. Hey,
He
good
was
for
a little sick then.
good for him.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, Art.
Okay.
Take care.
See ya.
Be well.
You too, pal.
978-534-1626. We have a busy show tonight, and we're going to take a short break. And thank you to our sponsors, by the way. And we're coming up with a new sponsorship program here for small businesses, small local businesses that can underwrite and sponsor the show. And if you're interested at all, you can call Scott here at LTV, Leominster TV, right? LTV. We lost the A. We used to be LATV. But we lost the A when now we're just LTV. So we're taking a short break. We're coming right back.
And here they come. For Leominster out there, number 19, Noah Gray.
Time, Kyle Jackson at the far wide side left to the formation, and Angel Began at the short side right. Gray on second and goal. Snap, fake, Gray keeps it himself, rolls it to the outside left, angling for the pylon, steps inside, and he's in! And it's a Blue Devil touchdown for Noah Gray, and he finds himself 6.
Nice job by Noah going to the wide side of the field there. Being chased by a couple of linebackers, but nice little stutter step, give the shoulder, and tiptoed his way into the end zone.
On the Red Raider 35-yard line starting this offensive drive.
Going left to right or right to left for those of you joining us on LTV. Two backs in the backfield. Gallagher the snap out of the gun. He'll give it to Noah Gray. Straight speed sweep. He'll turn the right corner. He's got right sideline. He's got 6. Touchdown Blue Devils. Touchdown Noah Gray. A 35-yard run. Round right end and down the right sideline he went.
Noah Gray, running back. I think that might be a new position for him.
Noah Gray comes to the sideline, sees his teammates spooning it up. He says he's ready to eat, and he's got himself 6 points.
Red to Pittsburgh, all blue, top and bottom of Leominster.
Classic battle here on the K-zone. Play action fake for Gallagher on 1st and 10. Floats it out, looking to the near side right. And Noah Gray will run underneath that midfield. He's got the sideline. Come on away from C.J. Byers. And he's in the end zone. Shotgun spread, 4 receivers in the formation. And Gray at the snap. He's back to pass. Got some time. Steps up in the pocket. Gets away from a defender to keep the play alive. And he is still keeping the play alive. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and is mentioned that she's doing a better job than I am. Here's an high formation. Tantini with storm dotting, back to pass Gray. Looks to the left and throws downfield. Catch is made in the end zone. It's a Blue Devil touchdown. Gray finds Kyle Jackson.
Is Noah just got that little extra something tonight? You know, if there's anything that's been missing from Noah's game, it's been that touch over the top pass, and that's 3 of them that he's dropped right in the bucket tonight. Led to 3 scores, and good job by Noah Gray hooking up right there. 1 play after the turn.
Look at that, huh? Imagine that. Number 19, Leominster High School, and great clips, huh? Great, great. Whoever put that together. You did? Nice job. Nice job. I mean, imagine that. I mean, that's just I keep saying it, just a dream, right? Just everyone's dream, every kid's dream, right? Out there doing something that you like to do, right? Like you look at it, you get to be the executive manager here, huh? Right, this is something you always wanted to do. This is like Noah Gray, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, Maggie Leighton is here with us. She was 4th runner-up in the Miss Massachusetts Teen USA 2023, and you even missed a meeting, one of my meetings to attend one of the functions, right?
Yeah, I did.
How cool is that? See?
Yeah.
You get to fulfill your dream.
And now I'm here.
I do think, and I say this, I can't stress enough to every student. I'm like, just find, what are you passionate about? And they'll be like, what's that mean? I'm like, what do you really get excited about? Like, what gets fire in the belly? What do you like to do? Mm-hmm. And eventually, I extract something from them. Yeah. And sometimes they're embarrassed to say what it is, but I'm like, don't be. And they're like, well, let's talk for a second about it. And sometimes it's things I never even heard of. And I'm like, okay, how are we going to turn it, because eventually you're going to make some money. Yeah. How are we going to turn this into something, right? Mm-hmm. One thing leads to another, and the next thing you know, right? Yeah. We had a young lady named Maldonado, and she sang with, she actually performed with Rihanna during the Super Bowl. Wow. Andre Korskini started right here. He was one of the cameramen here, and was a cameraman during the Super Bowl. And then Vinny Aaliyah, that was on our show 2 weeks ago, was on the cooking show there, the Next Level Cooking, which if they did toast, I could do. And boiling water. Yeah. So welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us how this all started. Like, did you hear about it from somebody else?
I saw an ad on Instagram, actually, because I'm always on Instagram. And it was advertising the pageant. And I just thought, like, it's honestly, like, all I thought was, like, toddlers and tiaras. You know, that's all I had in my mind about pageants. But then I really looked into it. And there's a lot of community service involved. Right. The organization's working with Best Buddies and all that. And then I went to their headquarters in September for a casting call.
Where's that?
In Malden. Oh, cool. So a ways away. But, and then I had an interview, and they signed me up. And then that was about 4 months of like rapid training and buying a giant dress and more dresses and more outfits.
Did you bring any clips with you tonight? Do we have any video?
No,
Do we
I
have any
think...
video with you guys? Anything on YouTube or anything that
No
we can
video,
see?
but let me look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see what you can see. It'd be the Miss Teen, she's Miss Teen Leominster USA, but 4th runner-up in the Mass Teen USA 2023. So there might be something out there.
Maybe, yeah.
I know there's probably stuff on your Instagram, right?
Yes, there is,
But
yeah.
if you ever come, if they come across something tonight, they'll go ahead and show it.
Okay.
So did you feel a competitive mode? I mean, at some point you get there and there are all these other people, and it's like, okay, this is looking around. You're not feeling your greatest at that particular point.
Yeah, I mean, like, I play sports, so I'm always like, I want to win, I want to do this.
Right,
I
you
wanna
could
do
get the
that.
competitive edge kicks.
Yes, but it was, I'm 15, so I was one of the, the youngest there, goes up to like 19.
Right.
So I was honestly going in and just being like, I just want to place
Yeah,
like
let me just
top 16
yeah,
maybe.
let me just get in here.
And then I got into the top 5 and I was like freaking out.
So does it narrow down immediately down to half or?
Well, there's a preliminary show on Saturday, and then on Sunday we do our personal interviews, and then we have the finals, and it cuts down to the top 16 like right at the beginning.
Immediately. They cut it right down.
Yeah, and then
And you made it.
Yes, I did.
And you're thinking what?
And I'm like, okay, I don't
here.
have to do anything more. This is all I came here for.
So you didn't feel the pressure.
I did not feel it. And
so
then
you're like, whatever happens, happens.
yeah, and then I got on stage and they were like, we're gonna call the top 5, and they got to the second to last person.
And you're like, well, I had a good run.
Yeah, and then they called me and I was freaking out. Like, I was like, I can't believe this just happened.
Do you think that sometimes things happen because when the pressure's off,
Yeah.
that actually like, okay, hey, you know what? I got here, I came, I fulfilled my dream, I'm happy, right?
Yeah, because
and then it's like, okay, the pressure's off, and all of a sudden it's like, how did that happen?
Because you can actually have fun with it, you know?
Right.
I was dancing backstage with the girls with the music playing.
But sometimes when there's all that pressure to be first, there's no fun.
No.
It's all pressure.
Yeah.
But now you're having fun.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so you get down and they pick 5.
And then we have our onstage question, which is the one where everybody answers what piece and all that. And I did not answer
They still
world
asking
peace.
those questions?
Yes.
What'd you
and
say?
My question was, what did you learn about yourself during the pageant?
Oh, all right.
And that was the one question I could not answer during anything like mock interviews that we were doing to train. And I can't answer that question. I saw it and I looked at it and I was like, oh, of course I got that question. But I answered, and it was honestly so scary, but it was a good answer, I think.
Yeah, you just said, what'd you say? I'm having fun.
Yeah.
This was a good experience. I met a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's because I had a roommate. Everybody has a roommate. And it's honestly such a sisterhood. Like, you'd expect everybody to be so catty, but honestly, they're like the best friends that weekend that you could ever have. It's just incredible.
And so you didn't give them a canned response.
No.
You didn't give them the one that 90% of the other people, their parents sat them down and said, if they ask you this question, it's clean water, world peace, those kind of things. Which everybody, oh no. So you just said what you said, right?
Yeah. Totally.
You had a good roommate, had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Had a lot of nice people.
100%.
And then what happens? Now you're down to, now the pressure's kind of on, and I mean, you're looking around thinking, wow, I'm, one of many.
And it was just
narrowed down to 5.
Yeah, when we were in the back while the misses were doing theirs, and they had the hardest questions ever, and I'm just standing there with all the 4 other girls that I'm there with, and just thinking like, I'm so happy I'm not a miss right now.
Like, what are they giving for questions?
A lot of stuff. Like, one of the questions was, who do you think is the most important person in the world right now? And if you could make one law for the whole world, like, what would it be?
Just be nice.
Yeah, honestly.
Stop being creepy. Be nice. Just be nice.
And those are honestly just so, like, they're loaded questions, like, there's a million answers.
What did people give for the answer on, like, who's the most important person?
Her mom. Yeah. And I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah, it is, though. I mean, in reality, right?
And it was a really, like, heartfelt answer, and it was my favorite of the night.
Oh, that's good. Gee, what a good experience.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Absolutely.
So it's not just showing up. It's community service. It's just doing hard work.
Yeah.
I just remind everybody that she also serves on the Mayor's Youth Council, and we have a lot of fun.
We do,
And we brainstorm and come up with ideas, and we try to come up with projects that are meaningful to the community and engage others, right?
Yes.
Get other people to get excited about it. And 978-534-1626 if you have any questions. And I mean, that's to be first time out
Yes.
to get one of 5, and then ultimately the first runner-up, and you make Miss Leominster anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal. You just heard me read the whole inventory, and that's
Yeah.
just some of the people in town.
Yeah.
And we really do. We really, and I don't know if everybody says this, but we really have like a real long inventory of people that have done good things. And it isn't all about success. This is what the question I would ask is, define success.
Yes.
You see what people say, because sometimes, I know when I was younger, it was money and a sporty car and a big house and
Yeah.
9 bathrooms and 77, that stuff. And later on, you realize success is many, many things, right?
Absolutely.
And that's a kind of a cooler question, but it evolves over time, right? I mean, success.
Yeah.
So now what? I mean, so do you go to take those competitive skills somewhere else, or?
Well, right now I'm doing club volleyball, so we're actually having like our first tournament in a couple weeks.
Nice.
And I'm already preparing with my pageant coach for next year, and then I'm going to be 16.
So you're going to do it again?
I absolutely am.
Are you like vying for one now? All of a sudden you get a little competition in you, and it's like, I made it to 5. I think if you just keep the pressure off,
Yeah.
that's like Tom Brady always kept the extra couple seconds before he shot.
Yeah.
That's the patience part of it,
Yeah.
and not the panic part.
Yeah.
Right? If you can just get that under control, it's right. Then it's like it's 90% of it, right?
Yeah.
And you already did it once.
I did, yeah. So now I know what's happening.
So who won?
Haverhill.
Haverhill.
Yes. I was right next to her during the opening number, so we spent like a lot of time together during the weekend.
Very comparable communities, by the way.
Yeah. And she's honestly like so sweet. She's done pageants all of her
All
life.
right, so she came. So that's all right. You don't mind.
Yes.
Carla, welcome to the show.
Hey, do you know?
Say hello to Miss Leominster and 4th runner-up
Hi,
for
Miss
Miss
Leominster.
Massachusetts. Huh? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
What's going on over there at Hannaford, boy? Trucks all over and carpenters and tearing apart the
They're
store.
in the whole store now.
Am I going to recognize that store? Am I going to find things? I just figured out what's in that store and where it is. Am I going to be able to find things?
You guys have to come with me, and they want you to come for the grand opening.
Oh, good, because I'm like, hey, where are the raisins? Where'd you put the raisins? Where'd you put where'd you put the lima beans? Where are they? That's what I want to
I don't
know.
know.
I just figured it out.
Half the time, I don't know where anything is anyway, so I always have to do overstock.
Yeah, just,
Wanted to tell your buddy Mark to say hello?
Yes, tell Mark. I'll see him at the grand opening.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. So,
Bye.
bye. Yeah, so I'm glad you're going to do it again, right?
Yeah.
How fun is that?
It's
So now you can make appearances like, hey, here's Miss Leominster. Can I have your autograph? Miss Leominster, right?
Yes.
To have people ask you to go places and...
Well, like I said, they're working with like Best Buddies, so
yeah, yeah.
I might be doing one of their walks. And when the
Kathy
weather-
DeRusso, by the way, is high-level Best Buddies here in Leominster, so
Yeah.
she's good. And then hopefully Noah Gray comes back to do camps this summer, and we're hoping to do like a big deal and a parade, and we'll have to have Miss Leominster up there, right? It's only a pro. I mean, I wonder. I mean, you just saw the clips of him playing football. How many kids have played football for Leominster High?
Yeah.
And how many had the dream and the possibility of making it to college and play ball there, and then actually be happy to play semi-pro.
Yeah.
And then someday to suit up, actually put the uniform on.
It's crazy.
Right? And
Yeah.
then the guy plays on the tee, actually plays, and then they have a good season, and they win the playoffs, they make it to the Super Bowl. He plays in the Super Bowl, and they win. Is that like dream after dream after dream after dream?
I mean, now he has a ring. That's like
Already?
what everybody plays for.
Just, wild. So, well, good for you. Good for
Thank
you.
you.
And stay focused.
Yes.
Most importantly, have fun, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, did you sense that some of the other ladies that were there are under a lot of pressure to...
Yeah, definitely. There were a couple girls who've
It's like real competition,
yeah,
huh?
done pageants since they were like barely even walking.
So the stakes are high.
Yeah.
Then you just kind of roll in there like, hey, it's me, it's Maggie. Maggie from Leominster, right?
Yes.
And then they're all like, she placed 4th. But I'm sure everybody's happy for you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not so competitive for them.
Yeah, I had like so many people come up to me, giving me hugs after and being like, you have to stay in touch with me.
Wow,
I'm
you
like,
got new friends.
Yes, absolutely.
New Instagramonians.
Yes.
Right? All right, so if you had your dream and you got a chance to live your dream, what would it be?
Probably going to a good college because I'm a sophomore right now, so that's honestly all I'm thinking about.
Well, your dad's working like extra shifts.
And I want to be a med student.
Oh,
so I'm thinking about doing a lot of community service, you know.
You know, I often wonder how some of my friends became doctors. I'm like, when did this happen? Like, seriously, I have this conversation at least once a week. Like, what were you doing in class? Apparently, they were paying attention or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in the same classes. What were you doing? Right? And I mean, but it's a lot of hard work.
It's a lot.
It's not
of work.
easy.
Yeah, but and then after that, I mean, with the pageant, obviously the goal is to become Miss Teen Massachusetts, and then whoever wins that goes to Miss Teen USA.
That's really big, huh?
It's very big.
How do you do under that pressure? Because that's big.
It's gigantic. You know, it's on a stage in front of like 200 people at the state level, and then it's like 1 million people, and then more people watching
it.
Yeah, but I've always been comfortable on a stage. You know, I sing, I play the piano, I dance.
So you're okay.
Yeah.
Deep breath, exhale.
Once the lights hit you can't really see anything, so you just kind of black out and do your thing.
No, you've got to find that mechanism.
Yes.
Otherwise, some people crumble and they're really talented.
Absolutely.
But they don't do well, and it's because they can't, handle the pressure of it all.
Yeah.
Right? Well, good job and good luck,
Thank you.
Thanks for representing our city. And
of course.
Imagine that, fourth. How do you figure that, huh?
It's insane. I'm still like trying to process it.
Good for you. All right. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. And we'll be seeing Miss Teen Leominster around, I'm sure.
Yes.
And bigger plans ahead. You heard it. You're not going to just put it down and hang up the crown now.
Yes.
She's moving on. This is getting competitive. We'll be right back. Boy, was that intense, huh? Leominster playing Fitchburg. Another good job. The music behind it. I was waiting for Rocky to come out, run down the stairs at the and into the gymnasium. But very suspense. Nice job. Leominster won that night, right? They were victorious?
Not the boys.
Oh, the boys didn't. I thought they did.
No, girls came home with a great victory, though.
All right. Ladies, all right, for carrying us through. Nice job. 978-534-1626. That's the phone number here at Inside Leominster. If you'd like to give us a call, please do. And we don't mind being interrupted. It's not a problem at all. That's kind of how my brain works anyway. Amanda Curtis is our next guest, the Economic Development Coordinator for the City of Leominster. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going
Seems
great.
like I saw you a few times today.
Just today.
Just today.
Just today alone.
It's
I know.
like, can I see you for a minute? I get the old, this is what I get from Amanda. Can I see you for a minute? And then like 20 pages later. No.
It's true.
Just kidding. Hey, next week, school vacation.
I know.
Are you taking any time off to do it? Yeah, when your kids are small.
Yeah.
They're just happy being around.
That's it.
It could take like little things, keep them entertained.
Thank goodness.
Right?
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Life is so easy when you're young. It just, you can make a big deal out of nothing.
She's a big fan of stickers right now. 3.5-year-old.
Imagine that.
So
just give her some stickers. And,
easy enough.
And like 8 hours later, it's like, hey, you want something to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the 8-month-old. She's a big fan of the 8-month-old. So the two of them are.
Well, because they watch the 8-month. They're intrigued by watching the 8-month. They're like, what will the kid do next? Stick spaghettis up or no? You know, all those fun things that you can get away with. You can't get away with when you're like an adult.
No.
At Friendly's. Right? Anyway, welcome to the show. And
Thank you.
How long has it been now? Since
I
you've been
know.
here?
It's been a little over 1.5 years.
Has it been?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
And a lot's happened.
We've been busy. Well, the city's been busy, but I've
It is
had
cranking.
a small
I'll tell
hand.
you, every other day at least there's a couple of new projects coming through, or at least people inquiring, and there's always people inquiring and trying to make the right fit. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to refer them to other communities. We're like, we worked real hard. I can think of a couple businesses that were like, we tried so hard, we just can't find you that, that perfect space.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a good thing. And I'm the kind of person, I don't like to lose any deals. None. That's why I don't go to the casino or gamble, because it's a matter of time, no matter how lucky you are, before you lose. And so I like to get every deal. I like to close them all. If I don't, I'm like miserable. I'm like, oh man, we lost that. Could have had that one, just couldn't find any space.
Yeah. Like you said, when I started, it was, my timing was spectacular because there was so much that had all of this history of work had been happening before I got here. So I got to kind of arrive when some things were kicking off, like the rail trail was about to open.
Things that took a long time but came through fruition, and you just, the closer. You were the closer.
I like that.
Right?
It does feel like
you were
I'm
brought
the
in for a
closer.
specific reason. Amanda closes the deal. Right?
I'm persistent, if
And
nothing
here's
else.
Amanda Curtis. What does she do? She's the deal closer. She wraps it up and puts the bow on it.
She doesn't let it go. I'm pretty dogged.
Yes, and so you picked up the project for the rail trail.
Yeah.
So nice today. There were people everywhere. In fact, you know that little pocket park where that little pocket park at North Main in Maine? Some benches, and I always say, wonder if anybody will actually sit there. And I went by today, and lo and behold, 2 different times, 2 different groups of people just sitting there. They had their bikes on the side, chatting, talking away, and it was a beautiful. And I could see people, as far as I could see, down the rail trail. People out there today, and
gorgeous. It's been
just a great,
incredible weather for it.
I mean, I knew I'd like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew I'd enjoy it, and you can't always go other places and go on these rail trails that take you through to New Hampshire, so you don't always have the time. But this is perfect. I mean, it's like a 10-for-1. You go to Doyle Field, you can go shopping. Did I tell you about the young lady that stopped me one day and said, what was it? Oh, her and her boyfriend rollerblade, and they go up to like Applebee's or into Barnes & Noble or something. And I said, really? And they're like, yeah, you got our backpacks. And I didn't think of that one.
Right. No, it's true. I mean, it is, as you said, there are people using it every single day, no matter what the weather is.
Sometimes, it's early morning, I see people on, and then, later at night when the sun starts to go down, they're still, finishing up their walk or their ride. But it's beautiful out there, and again, it can, and people use it for work, transportation.
Yeah, which is huge. I mean, that was a huge component of why this exists.
So a lot of, nothing against other rail trails, there have been to many, they just go through woods, which is nice. I mean, but they don't go by anything. There's nothing else. You just keep driving and you end up in, Quebec, Canada. Anyway, so some of the things that we've been working on, I mean, one good thing is, obviously with Melissa and everybody, we got a good team of people who work on, the downtown, on events, in the city, for the city. and you drill down a little bbit more and working on things like the facade program. We're using some the funding that we had and some funding we got from the chamber to do some facade improvements on buildings in the downtown core area.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We have 14 that have either already completed some of their facade updates or are in the process of it. There's potentially 3 other applications that we're just waiting on. We know people are interested, but that's like the rail trail, that's one of those projects, one of many, but one that you can physically see the change that's happening because they're beautifying, updating and just making things look a little bit more updated, and they need a refresh.
I go by TC Landers right near Walgreens, and I'm like, that is noticeable.
Yeah.
So the way the program worked is, if there's 100% of the project, if it's a $10,000 job, then we pay $7,500, $7,500, and the person pays the other $2,500.
Exactly.
And so we did the same thing at C&M Pizza, which I thought for years I always hoped that would get painted.
Yeah.
A big building. So that got done, and I actually like the colors they picked, and it looks really nice. I like it a lot.
She had even said, she's like, they actually did a little more than I was expecting too with some of the updating that they did. So
I mean, they've got the shutters and everything look good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, coming through. I'm like, from every direction, it looks so much better.
It does.
I'm sure at the time that color might have been something, but it lasted so long. I mean, it's aluminum siding and lasted so long, but needed a little bit of a
just need a little touch up.
Yeah. And ironically enough, some people were like, I really like the other color. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, I actually like that color. I'm like, are you just teasing me? Like, no, I really liked it. I said, okay, that just shows everybody's different, and we all have different likes and dislikes.
And some people don't like change.
Right.
So.
And then TC Landos, the windows and the awnings really looks great. 54 Main Street did the awnings over. They're in rough shape.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're done over there yet, if they have some more work to do, but...
a couple of our projects have a lot of windows that they're waiting on.
Right.
So like a lot of them are looking to update
glass
that.
in the windows. Then one that's going to be really exciting, well, actually 2. One is at Allen's department store, which is like, I love that store. And they're going to remove the canopy. Now, some people may say, well, that's where the dinosaur used to be. Well, over the years, structurally, this thing is like anchored to the building, but it's coming loose. And anyway, it's going to have a whole new look to that. Historic, but a new look. It's actually going to enhance it. So that'll look nice. And then where the Fromage cheese and Southern Daisies is located, that building is 5 storefronts in the front. That's going to get itself a facelift. And by the way, that new art, have you been inside?
I haven't been inside yet, no.
We're going to do a grand opening, but if you get a chance and you drive by, I'm not sure what his hours are, get a chance and you go by and see that it's open, pull over. So that would be, let's see, 41, 43, 45?
I believe it's
45 Main Street. If you see the lights on in there, great people. And now, it's not everybody's style artwork, it's mine. It's very Caribbean, very African. That's lots of, bright colors, yellows. But not everybody likes it. But you'll like the artwork. When you go in, you'll see the caliber and the talent.
Yeah.
Right away, you'll be like, this is for real. This is good. This is quality product in here. So they're going to get a facelift.
They are. And Medical Arts and Hearing,
they
were the first. They were
they were number 1.
on it.
Yeah, they don't fool around up there anyway.
They do not. They do not. They did their
right
siding.
on it. Like the ink wasn't even dry, and they were already contractors were out working.
Yeah. The Groom Room has done their.
The Groom Room did their.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, they did a lot of work. I was surprised.
They did.
They did a lot of work. Over the years, water gets into things. They rip apart and did the roof, or whatever they did. They did a ton of work. Tim's Diner, they're working on it now too. So that's going to have a cool look to it.
Depot Square.
Depot Square.
Depot, the station. I'm going to mess up the name right now.
The train depot.
Thank you, the train depot.
That's going to get
done. I just want to combine all the words.
Right. That's going to get done.
Yeah.
I knew the words. I just didn't have them in the right order.
They were there.
Sometimes I get that block where I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Help me out. Don't just look at me funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the train depot.
Yeah.
I pat myself on the shoulder. I got one right.
That you did.
So that'll get done, and then let's see, who else is down there? And then where Logan's is. And so they had
And
the alley
Columbia
last year that we
Tavern.
allowed kind of outdoor seating. And now they kind of closed it in so they can get like a 3-season out of that.
Yeah.
So to Logan's and Columbia Tavern, right, kind of sharing that space.
Yes.
So that's going to get a new look. And then I was by the old Enterprise Bank today. Now, that wasn't even part of it. They did that on their own.
That just worked
but
out.
I stopped and looked. I'm like, they did a good job in there.
Gorgeous.
And I was going to, in fact, when I leave here, I'm going to call Marty Connors from Rollstone Bank and say, Marty, I thought you guys are like painting and wallpaper, you know, just sprucing up the place.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money in there. It looks nice. And the other interesting thing is across the street at the TD Bank. Now, that wing, besides TD and their office space, that whole other wing sat empty for years. And there's offices in there, clinical folks that are in there. There's a spa in there. There's I mean, it's almost full. I think there's only a couple of few here and there spaces.
Yeah. And theirs are more on the second floor.
The
Some
second
of those
floor
openings
and
are more
then the
second
back.
floor.
So that's getting full. And what other buildings downtown are going to use
Are doing it? The Wood Block. They're going to,
that's right,
to do some, and then Park Street, 3 Park Street, right on
3
the corner
Park.
there with Subway and New York Pizza, all of
so
that.
they're going to get that.
They were going to do some windows, so
Good.
we're waiting for some updates on
And the
that.
thing is, you'll be surprised at the look. I'm kind of, if you look at the Anderson Bagley building, they did their windows over. They got like a tinted smoked glass. They did that over with a brown, frame to it, and it just changed the whole look of the building. Still kept it historic looking. And anyway, if you have any questions for Amanda, 978-534-1626. And we're also working on a website and social media. We try to help small business, and it's difficult, and especially in this state. I'll say it all day. I've owned a business here forever. It is not inexpensive to start, to run, anything.
No.
When your business at this state, it's just difficult. And so we try to make it easier. And a lot of businesses, it's 1 or 2 person operation. It's them, a family member, maybe a son or a daughter, mother or grandmother. Everybody kind of jump in family-run businesses. They don't always have time to do those extra things. They're bringing kids off to school. They have to go out and get things for the bit. I mean, it isn't just, hey, we open at 9, we close at 5.
Right.
There's so much else that goes along with it.
Yeah.
So building, websites and helping the businesses will be something down the road that we hope to do. QR codes to try to help them. Anything to help increase business. But we just got through building a whole new website for the city.
Yeah,
Something
so
that you and Stephanie have been working on.
And that was,
Michelle.
that was incredibly exciting just to be a part of that process. I mean, the last time it had been updated was 2013, so it was time.
Yeah.
But
you never think of it. You're like, we just updated it a couple years ago. Yeah, 2013.
It's been a little while. But yeah, Steph has been amazing at, the pressure was on, obviously, when we did it. That I come from a background that had some marketing to it. So when I came in, I said, well, we have to be consistent from this point forward with some of the colors we're using and the logo that we're trying to use on things. So I'm trying to push that slowly but surely in a direction.
People from out of town or people that are coming here to visit, people that want to do business here, the website is critical today. Now, it started off, that everybody got a website because you had to have one. Not all of us understood fully how that was going to make a difference. Today, it's the front door, right? Could be their first introduction into your business and you.
Yeah.
So for the city, same thing.
Yeah.
You Google Leominster, or popping
the
up
first
right
thing
away.
that comes up. And, the beauty of this new site, of course, just like other sites now, but, it's constantly updated with all the events that we're doing. It's like in your face. It's rather than you don't have to look very far, but it's a lot more user friendly. And we have the business directory now that when you were talking about the other businesses, we have the business directory that at the very least we've been compiling every single day. We're compiling who is on there. So at least, again, if you're from town or if you're from out of town and you're trying to figure out, does this exist or where do I find this information?
Yeah, it's important. And so many people, I once asked a guy who owned a pizza place, I said, how many people order online? He says, like 80%. I said, you serious? He goes, yeah. I said, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And we've had the ability to accept, actually the law didn't even allow us at first to accept credit card payments. And then later on, things have changed, and so how many people do business on our website, leominster-ma.gov. And then we're working on the world-famous legendary Leominster. We're just never running out of legends here.
No, so we technically have 9 spaces that we can use. I think we're going to end up using, at the very least, we'll use 7 for now. 2 of them are kind of still in flux about like, will they work, because there's construction around them.
Right.
So we certainly don't want to put
But eventually they'll work.
Yeah, so we have 9 light boxes that you'll see, or you have seen around the city, that have people on them. It's a person. There's a website that we'll have dedicated to it, so people will understand why these people are considered Leominster legends.
Right.
I'm hoping, my goal, and I'll say it now so that I have to stick to it, is that by the end of March we'll have the new versions of them. New faces popped up. Their bios will be out there. You'll see a slight change from what they looked like before. And I also think it's important to note, not that it matters, but we talked about Noah Gray back in like May.
I know, when Noah just was kind of out there.
He was already on our brains, but now I mean,
well, it's taken us some time. We
but...
kind of changed some frames around and some of the things that we did, and they got to get pictures and call the front office, and they get them to you pretty quick, right?
They do, yeah. No, I was just communicating with Julie Maldonado today just about getting her information too, and so we have another great crew, and then, like you said, we have a list of other folks that just a matter of trying to get in touch.
They'll just keep coming. If you're not a legend, we think we are. That's Leominster. If you're not a real legend, then we all think we're legends. 978-534-1626. Just a couple of minutes left here at Inside Leominster. I'm going to run through a couple slides while I have you, but I do want to remind you, next week is school vacation. And we have a lot planned for school vacation next week, whether it snows, whether we have ice or not. Plenty going on outside, plenty going on inside at the public library, in the rec department, at City Hall. But let's look at some of the cases here. This is a 7-day kind of rundown. It's about 65,000 people. I round everything off. 64,000 were tested. About 4,591 tested positive across the state in 7 days. 1,000 here in Worcester County. 92 deaths in 7 days. We're at the very bottom there. Average on 2 weeks, so we're about 25 per week. Hospitalization, on a good note, is down, in intensive care down, and intubated down. Those are moving all in the right direction. As the warmer weather gets out, we'll be out, less flu, less people inside buildings with poor ventilation. And today in history, in case you didn't know, in 1932, the first patent tree, they patented a tree, a peach tree. Did you know that? I didn't know that. 1946, the first commercial design helicopter was tested in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And they're still cutting edge out there in aviation. 1950, longest running primetime game show. What's My Line? You're all too young for that, but they had this show, and I actually liked it. What's My Line? You had to guess what their gig was. And in 1968, Elvis Presley receives a gold record for How Great Thou Art, which is a religious song. 1968, United States' first 911 phone system in Alabama. 1989, Roger Clemens signs for $7.5 million in a 3-year. That's big. At the time, that was huge. That's a lot of money. And then in 2014, American Bo Miller, 36 years old, became the oldest medalist in Olympic alpine skiing history when he ties for bronze. Imagine that. And today, that's nothing. Today, you'd be 80 and you'd be out there and start winning. Today, it's do a grouch a favor. Like, what do you do for a favor? Like, what do you do for a grouch? Smile at him? It's Fat Tuesday. It's Innovative Day and National Almond Day. I don't know. Every time I buy nuts, any kind of nuts, they always got like 4 pounds of almonds in them and 2 cashews. No, really.
I think almonds are healthier. Maybe that's why.
No, but I think they're more plentiful. And if you like to follow the police station project, which, by the way, they're hanging cabinets, doing paint. I mean, they're finishing this thing up. Exterior is wrapped up. Update at Leominster Police Project. I was going to say Felice something, but Felice Navidad. It's LeominsterPoliceStationProject.com. In other news, put in for that $3 million Safe Routes to School project. They started pre-construction meeting today. That's going to start this spring. And then we put grants in today. Wendy was feverishly getting them in for today for Samoset and new camera system in Francis Drake. And then we're also working on critical incident equipment and training grant for the police department. So lots going on. Did I have tonight? Is this tonight? I know. Why. How did the third Thursday of the month pop up already? Well, they're over at City Hall till 6 o'clock tonight. And so how this works is we get your cardboard box, we get you all this stuff to design and color, and you build your car, your SUV, your van, or whatever it is, and then we start the movie. And that's going to be at 5:30 and also 8:30. And then once upon a time, every little young girl or boy likes to dress up in their Cinderella costume or whatever. Next, and we have adults that'll be wearing costumes as well. And this will be all next Friday, the 24th. Can you believe it? 10 months to Christmas Eve. I know, 10 to 2 o'clock over at City Hall. It's restaurant week, and all the different restaurants participating have great deals. We want families to come out, have a good time, throw a few, cherry tomatoes around the restaurant. No, kidding, just kidding. February 19th to the 25th. And let's do pictures of the weekend. I never know what these are, but here goes Wendy. There's the police station work continues. There's the 3rd floor lobby running the HVAC and wrapping it with insulation. Every floor is at a different level. A lot of infrastructure that no one will ever see. Once it's done, you'll never see 8 million feet of wire in the ceiling. See it there. There's another finishing touch. Those walls are done. Ceilings are done. Light fixtures are in. There's the training room here in the ceiling. Remember, this is a 30,000 square foot building. South elevation, finishing touch. Now, see some of this coloration in the brick? That'll all be washed when it's done. A little warmer weather for that. But speaking of warmer weather, they're not done in North Leominster yet, but I did have the state go up and put some arrows up there, so you should find it a little more helpful. They are not done. And got to catch up. They caught a couple warm days, so they got some yellow lines in there, some white turning lanes. It's better, but not done. And there's the lower level sailing. Got their sheetrock up. Drainage work underway. Sally Port, where they bring into the, hopefully you don't get brought in here, but prisoners get brought into the Sally Port. And look at this. We were at this ribbon cutting a couple weeks ago, huh? Nice operation. Right on the Leominster-Fitchburg line, right across from Adams Nails. Adams Nail. And it's Sobliss ribbon cutting and Caribbean, African foods, but everything else in between. And what a wonderful family. You know, when I say people work hard, these small businesses, it's the whole family. It's everybody, family, friends. They put everything into it, and they did a good job. And there's the Dino dash cam, keeping you updated on what's going on in your roadway. Now people are like, hey, can you do a dash cam of my neighborhood? I want to talk about who used to live in what house. I'm like, well, I don't know how much time I'll have to do it. But anyway, it's a big day for Leominster. No Gray on the left. Vinny Aaliyah will be on tonight at 8 o'clock for a second edition. We'll find out if he makes it to a third. No. This is getting very stressful, Vinny. And he was on Channel 25 on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, from 8 to 11, and they had him in between, and it was great. He actually made cooking look easy and fun. Sure. That's his knack. Yeah. And Home Pride, there we are, Hometown Pride. We got our banner up. Leominster High School graduate to Noah Gray in the Kansas City Chiefs, who were not favored to win, by the way, which makes it even more superist, super monstrositist, whatever it is. There you go. What else? Anything else? I don't want to.
Dean, I'm really curious to know more about that beautiful looking cart that's been our audience has been enjoying looking at.
All right, let me see. Hang on, everybody. So, you can see, like, mostly ladies. I don't know why. They've got this thing. They have this sixth sense ability to take those Market Basket or Hannaford plastic bags and wrap like 37 of them around their fingers, and they roll them up their arms and walk like 4 miles. I don't know how to do it. You could do contests and this stuff. Guys could never make it because we don't have enough patience for it. And so anyway, you'll see. And sometimes I'll say, well, how come you take the bus? And they're like, well, it takes another hour for the bus to make the loop, and I got to get home, and I got the kids coming home. So Leominster is very walkable. And so what we did is we purchased some of these. And if you know somebody who could benefit from this and does their grocery shopping, and Hannaford is a real neighborhood store. And again, so many people that are walking. And it's not just food purchases. It's things they may buy downtown. Maybe people have an automobile or whatever it might be. Maybe they use the public transportation. We'll give you one of these. Look at this thing. And it's awesome. It's all waterproof. It's washable. It's got different compartments inside. And it's on wheels. So when we'll keep these in police department's trunk, you know, I've got one of mine, and when we see somebody, we'll pull over and like, here, take this.
Yeah.
And it's one of the values of a walkable community is you want people to use public transportation. If somebody has another car, or maybe they have one car they share in the family, this makes life so much easier. So, yeah, they're available. This is the small one, actually.
Oh.
We got like the SUV version. Bradley, thank you for reminding me, by the way. So anyway, if you know someone who, you know, moves, who does that whole thing, I don't know how they do it. I really don't. And a lot of them will get home, and they live on the 3rd floor, and they carry it all the way up to the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Without even breathing heavy. So a lot going on. If you're interested in starting a business, you want to know more about a business, you could call Amanda at City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
You can email her, call her. Maybe you have an idea for somebody that's a Leominster legend.
Yes, please.
Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think we covered everything tonight.
I think so.
And we'll bring you on to get updates once in a while. But yeah, so a lot going on. We've got a couple grand openings tomorrow, I think, right?
Yeah, 2.
2 tomorrow?
Vinda's Tailoring.
Oh, yeah.
And then Melo's Mexican.
Yes, that's right.
We end the
so
day.
we'll be ending tomorrow at the Mexican restaurant down there next to Paul's, right? Is that where that one is?
Yes.
And a bunch more coming, too. So
Yeah.
All right, we're out of time here at Inside Leominster. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
And I want to thank the crew here. Look at they came full, and they came prepared for me today. And I just want to let everybody know I was on time. I was actually 2 minutes early, just in case anybody wants to know. All right, out of time here inside Leominster. Thank you for watching. Deep breath. See that? A little sip of water because you got like 10 seconds. And I do want to thank you. And remember, the world is run by those who show up. Thanks for showing up. Good night. Hey, notice how my tie matches the background there?
I did,
Yeah, that
actually.
was.
I'm
I've
very
been planning
impressed.
that for a long time. See all the colors and how they go. All right, good night, everybody.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
This is LTV.